Welcome to the Fit Femme Project Alignment Podcast. It is here that we cultivate and gather all who have been through it in fitness, relationships, careers, lifestyle changes, and unforgettable crucial life pivots trying to achieve their most sovereign selves. We're here to provide you with thought-provoking, detailed stories and information from truly fascinating men and women from all walks of life, professions, generations, and modern-day sagas who speak to their rawest, darkest moments that made them the strong, decisive, humble, helpful, healing people that they are today. We ask them to hold nothing back because life is a multi-dimensional pursuit to be stronger, healthier, and more aligned mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let's go.
Hey, hi guys.
Hi.
We're here together again with Coach Lindsey, and we are matchy-match today.
Yay.
Today, let's just dive right in.
We have dogs.
Please excuse it.
Please
But again,
excuse.
like I've said before, it's way better than a ear-piercing fire truck going by my house. Like, that's
I like
been
your
happening.
positive spin
Yeah.
on my two loud-faced dogs.
At least it's cute. So we're going to talk about some basics, macros. We're going to do macros 101 today. It still feels really overwhelming for people, even though it's been around for ever.
Yeah.
Right? I remember, even if people know what it is, it still just feels overwhelming because numbers.
Yes.
I remember when I was first starting, because numbers just aren't really my forte brain-wise.
Nothing when you want to sign up for, when you think like forever, I have to do math to eat.
Oh, yeah.
That was me.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have put it that way. That's a perfect way to put it, but I would have never. I'm the same way. No, I don't want to calculate nothing. I just want to put food in my mouth.
Correct. Like eating should just be a little bit easier than math equations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for, let's just start at the beginning. What is a macro?
So macros, the easiest way to kind of get it into your head is the primary colors of food. So just like red, yellow, and blue are the primary colors, where every other color is made up of either one or a combination of two or three of those colors, which still sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
But that's true.
Yeah.
Macros are proteins, carbs, and fat in every food, every substance, besides alcohol, but that's a whole nother podcast, is either a single one of those or made up of two or three of proteins, carbs, and fat.
Yeah.
And that's how you break it down your food, is what does this consist of?
Yeah. I'm going to turn a little bit. Yeah. So then, where would one take that information?
Well, of course, the good thing, there's tons of good things about macros. I think the best thing to me about it is it gives a way to quantify food without judgment. Like, it just tells you what it is. It's not like a theory of well, this is bad and this is good. Never, always. It's just, what does this food consist of? How many grams of this are in it, and what does that look like for me?
Yeah.
For my goals for protein, carbs, and fat, or calories, or whatever you're quantifying.
Yeah.
It can fit into clean eating. It can fit into Whole30. It can fit into pretty much whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And it gives you a way to quantify it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because you can overeat
Yeah.
clean. You can lose 0 weight being 100% strict on paleo for months.
Yeah, that's true.
But if that was important to you for health reasons, or it's just something you wanted to do for whatever your reason is, you can stack macros with that and also achieve fat loss or muscle gain results.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think a lot of people, so let's explain the difference between somebody who's counting macros for fat loss, somebody who's counting it for maintenance, somebody who's counting it for bulk.
Yeah.
What is...
That's a calorie amount is
Yep.
what we're looking at there.
Yeah.
That's when you get into calories. But if you're counting macros and you're trying to lose fat, you can also, using macros, make sure that you have enough protein so that the weight that you lose is from fat and not from muscle mass.
So if somebody's trying to lose weight, start with protein goals.
Yeah, I like to, a lot of my clients, they're just lifestyle clients, their main goal is fat loss most of the time. And they just, they like to go out. They like to eat pizza once a week. They like to do different things. We do protein and calories, and that is sufficient for a lot of people's goals the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's also a good starting point because it's not as much math, right?
Yeah. Counting one is just fine for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
that.
easy to plan that way because you can just plug in your protein and then go back and be like, okay, what am I having with it?
Yeah.
I can plug it in however I want.
These two about to fight.
Should we pause it and put them in their kennels?
Okay, let's pause.
Because I'm just thinking like Rhonda's going to...
3, and we're back. Yes, I did that at the same time.
Good job.
So where did we leave off? We were talking about people with macros for weight loss goals, and starting out with just protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting out with protein and just an overall calorie goal, which we know, well, I know, a lot of people know, that protein is 4 calories per gram, correct? So if we have a protein goal of 100 grams of protein, 400 of those calories are automatically going to come from protein.
Okay.
Right? And so then if you have a 2,000 calorie goal, then 1,600 calories can come from carbs and fats at your discretion, which makes it more flexible for eating out because that's always going to be higher fat, what you're in the mood for, what you have access to.
Yeah. A lot of people, I find, are in that dilemma. We just had... I can say this, yeah. We just had somebody do a consult and I read the notes, and that was a big thing for her, was being able to still go out to eat and then still make time for her goals but enjoy her life. And, this like constant battle of like, I have to pick one.
Yeah.
And that's why my macros are just incredible.
Yeah, I like macros for that reason again, because it doesn't it takes the morality out of food.
Oh, yeah.
Which, trust me, you want to do. I have also tried the thing where I tried to convince myself that certain foods were bad or were going to kill me so that I would stay away from them. Not a long-term solution.
No.
Right? Because you eat them and then you don't die.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. So that's what macros do help with, is giving you an overall flexible, quantifiable view of food.
Yeah, I like that. And it helps it feel like non-judgmental,
Correct.
And especially if you're just starting out. And then this is what I did, and I think this is what you do for people when they're really new to it, is to track just what you eat normally.
That's what I love for people to do.
Because don't try to do anything different.
No, don't start eating healthy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I am happier when I look at a food log, when I'm looking through what my clients have been eating through the week, and I see oatmeal, egg whites, and blueberries and peanut butter for breakfast, and chicken, rice, and broccoli for lunch, and whatever, salmon and roasted potatoes for dinner, and then for snack, you see graham crackers or a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Right? I like that because it shows me that they understand, that you can achieve your goals without only eating healthy or whole or clean foods, and that they're allowing themselves to have things that are convenient.
Yeah.
Because we need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Macros do not, they don't care about micronutrients. So your vitamins and your minerals and things like that, that's up to you to decide. But again, that goes back to personal preference, belief, morality. You can eat 100% organic if you want to.
Yeah.
And hit your macros.
Yeah.
Or you can eat from a gas station and hit your macros.
Yeah.
So it gives you the ability to kind of decide what works best for you and your budget and your, like, the way that, different foods make you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you, for the beginners, tell them to start tracking? Like, what's your coaching method on teaching people to, like, if they were a new client, like, how are you having that conversation with them?
I had it yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's like, what should I be eating? What do you eat now that you like? We will worry about dialing things in as it becomes more pertinent to your results. Right now, when we're starting with the basics, let's see what you're eating, how often, the amounts, and see if we can change, like, the frequency and the quantities to fit your macros now so that you feel comfortable. And then we can move into, let's look at fiber. Let's look at fat content if your digestion feels slow. Let's look at your energy levels. Are you eating enough carbohydrates? We can do all of that. But getting the macros down, that's the basics. That's where you want to start. And I think it's, like, exciting sometimes because of the other things people have tried. Yeah. And you're like, but I usually eat, a bowl of cereal at night. I'm like, we'll eat a bowl of cereal at night and let's see what needs to be changed if it does.
Yeah. And I like that because it also, when you have those consults and people realize, like, oh, I don't have to really change anything.
Yeah,
like,
you don't.
You don't have to instantly get on the struggle bus. Like,
correct. You don't have to, like, grin and bear it. And that goes into the whole conversation about, like, I really want to do this, but it's my birthday next week. And then the week after that, I have to go out of town to my kid's game. And then I think that I'm having to volunteer at a concession stand. And, I can't eat concession stand. It takes away that perfect place and perfect time mentality that's never going to happen and sure the hell is never going to last.
No. Yeah. I think that often when I'm like, okay, I'm going to have, like, the week. This is a great week. Like, all the variables are the same. Mm-hmm. No one's in and out of town. I'm like, yes.
And it's nice. Look, it's freaking nice when that happens. When you have a week where it's just, you're just sailing, you're coasting, but we don't learn from that. Yeah. We don't learn from that. And it's not even, like, a real source of pride. I'm real proud of myself when I go to a jiu-jitsu competition or go out of town for, like, my husband's work trip and I make it work. Even if it's a little bit inconvenient and freaking annoying sometimes, and it is, but I am willing to sacrifice a little irritation to also hit my goals. And I think that's the give, is you have to pre-plan. Yeah. You have to know what you're doing and where your food is coming from, but the payoff is so much bigger than that. There's no juice without the squeeze. There's just not. You're not going to get something for nothing. Right. And the something for macro tracking for me is, heck yeah, that's worth it.
Oh, yeah, especially with being able to incorporate it into your everyday life and your activities, and, like, it's 1,000% worth it. And it can be inconvenient. It's like, I gotta go, like, get online and look at the menu and figure it out, and which one do I choose on my Fitness Pal, and, like, I think that's a whole other episode of, like,
it is, and you do have to say no to stuff sometimes. Yeah, you have, like, I would love to, but that's not what I mean. Last night when those meatballs came out,
I know they look good.
They look so good. Yeah, but it's okay. Guess what? The moment passed, and I ain't thought about a meatball until we were talking right now. Yeah, I'm fine.
I thought the same thing, and then I was like, but I more want this pizza that I've already logged.
Yeah, and it's just about making decisions that fit what you want the most instead of constantly feeding into impulse.
Yeah, and I think one thing to remember is that, like, yes, this is a great way to live your life with flexible dieting and all this stuff, especially when you get in the groove of it. But that doesn't mean you won't be uncomfortable. You won't have to make this or that choices. Like, well, this one fits my thing better versus the thing that I am craving or what I really want. And so that's important to remember. Like, okay, I'll do flexible dieting. Like, well, you got to get uncomfortable a little bit. Like, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If it wasn't uncomfortable, you can just know that you're not going to change.
Yeah. I think one thing that I've noticed over the years, 2 years, 3, going on 3.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Is it? Is that like, it's so much easier now to make those decisions of like, okay, I'm going to plan out this stuff. And then, because I know I really want this thing as a snack or for dinner. And then I'll realize.
Our protein ice cream.
Yeah, our protein ice cream. Actually, a good example is like when I'm going out to eat. So I'll plan, my lunch and breakfast and like some snacks. And then I'll look at the menu. I'm like, oh, that's what I want. And so I'll find a good option in my fitness pal to be like, fuck.
Yeah. No, I can't have this.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, what's the next best thing? And like, it's easier. Yeah, it's frustrating and like, but it's a lot easier, especially the more you do it, to be like, well, there's other good things on here. I get to go out to eat. This is really nice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And there is a learning experience to be had there
Yeah.
is the only way that you can have fun is by eating something that doesn't fit your fitness goals. Could you have fun by eating something that did and returning your mind to, look, I like my boyfriend. I like being here with him.
Yeah.
And like with nothing to do with the food, I like my outfit.
Yeah.
That fits me well.
I get dressed up.
I got dressed up.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm laughing. I'm having a good time. It's up to you if you choose to focus on the only negative you could draw out of that, which is I can't eat like an animal.
Yeah. Damn it.
I can't eat like a dog released on a buffet table.
True.
Doesn't usually go with fitness goals.
Yeah. So let's like kind of talk a little bit more about like the steps people can take when starting to do the macro tracking. So, download an app.
Yeah, that makes it the easiest. MyFitnessPal does seem to have, it has its negatives. It does.
Yeah.
But it does seem to have the biggest database. What I just like to always remind my clients is it is a user-based database. So I could go in there right now and put 6 ounces of boiled chicken and log it as 32 grams of fat and nothing else.
Oh,
I could.
Yeah.
And that would be in there until someone reported it or whatever.
Deleted it, yeah.
But you do need to still, like, it's a buyer beware kind of app of.
That's a good thing to remember.
Yeah, you still need to look.
And the
at
green check mark is a good
but not perfect. Surprisingly.
Really?
Like, I can't remember. A client showed me something the other day, and I'm like, well, this is all worthless then. Because it's a green check mark, and it was stupid. I'll have to. I hope that somebody listens to this and be like, it was me.
Yeah. Remind us.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that is a good rule of thumb when looking on there is to look for the green check marks and stuff like that. So, let's see. So you got it, you're downloading it and you're going about your day. You can't really, if you use the free version, you can't really scan on there unless you change the location to the UK. But
you're going to jail. You said that on the podcast.
Well, I just found that on TikTok. So
send TikTok to jail.
That's not me.
No, I have heard that. I went ahead and it's not that I have to pay for it. It costs too much.
It does.
It's too much. It should be between $2.99 and $5.99. Then that's all. It's crazy expensive.
You can get by just fine on the free version, unfortunately.
It's not as convenient.
You just gotta type it in, and that is the annoying part. But one of the things Lindsey gets us in the habit of doing is logging everything right away in the first part of the day.
Helps so much.
It does, and I often forget, but I often am eating the same things, especially for breakfast.
And like just during the week, we're all just we all have our own habits, whether you recognize them or not. You're eating very similar meals throughout your week, but the beauty of pre-planning, of using that as a planner instead of put this in as I eat it. Put this, you get to the end of the day, and it's always something stupid like I have 67 grams of protein and 0 carbs and fat. Like you literally just have to go drink a carton of egg whites if you want to hit your goals. If you pre-plan it, it helps you eat a balanced, well thought out, nutritious meals. You're much more likely to not eat something ridiculous or not have enough micronutrients. If you plan it out. It also it's taking intentions or shoulds. I should be good. I should eat well. I should hit my macros.
Yeah.
And now we got a damn plan. And we're
It's
executing.
a calendar, right?
And it helps every Enneagram type.
Yep.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
I will say, especially for the people that hate to do it,
Yeah.
you need to do it
Yeah.
twice.
I mean, I definitely griped about it for sure for a while. But, and I understood, especially when I seriously started doing it, I was like, oh, this is annoying. And I still have those days
It
where I'm
is
like,
annoying. It's a little bit tedious. So, you know what? Touch it once.
Yeah.
Don't be annoyed 5 times a day.
Yeah,
be annoyed 1 time a day.
Yeah. But I also was like, I did get over it because I was like, I know this is the thing that will really help me. So that took away a lot of that annoyance.
Yeah.
But,
Also,
yeah.
some pestering, some pretty legitimate pestering.
Yeah. So as far as like, I'm trying to think, like, should we get into,
Dogs barking continuously.
I know, sorry.
Jesus, sorry. We put them in the kennel so that they wouldn't be as annoying, and wow,
Guess
did that backfire. They're like, let me show you what I got.
which is that Bruno?
That sounds like baby Rosie, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
She
Your
can
kids'
hear us
barks?
talking. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like my kids' cries. I know who is who.
I don't. But where do you think we should go? Because like I'm wondering if we should like get into like like meals. What is a good place to start for that? Or
Oh
just,
yes, that is important.
Okay.
Because no matter what your goals are, no matter what your preferred style of eating is, prioritize your protein.
Okay.
That goes even more for people that are pescatarians, vegetarians, vegans. Hit your protein goal first and then fill in with the carbs and the fats. That's your king macro. That's your most important macro to hit. The second most important thing is your calorie goal. And the third most important thing is, are you going to get into the real details of carbs and fat?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that for at least a little while. The carbs
And you may
like,
never need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Or, if your fitness goals become more, I don't want to say severe, but more specific, then you might need to figure out if your body runs differently on a higher amount of carbs or fat. And people are different.
Yeah,
They're
Casey
different.
loves the carbs.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
if Casey loves the carbs or if Casey
Her
understands
body.
how her body burns through carbs.
Oh,
And mine
okay.
was the same way.
Really?
And I was shocked out of my mind.
really?
Yeah.
I was when I first learned when I first was just tracking whatever I ate before I had any macro goals, it was I could not believe the amount of fat I was eating.
Well, yeah, because it's
I was
tasty.
so surprised. Well, I just thought everybody thinks that like, oh man, carbs are gonna be skyrocketed through the roof. Like, no, I have trouble hitting my carbs every day.
Well, and it's a thought too of people like the whole thing about carbs being bad. Nobody's sitting out there gaining weight eating plain bowls of rice. That is not what we're eating. It is
Yeah.
always delicious carb and fat combos. It's cookies, it's
Yep.
cakes, it's creamy pastas, it's cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
It is carbs and fat. It's just easier to avoid carbs
Yeah,
than it is to avoid fat because fat's invisible a lot of times.
That's so true. I never
Yeah.
thought about it like that.
Like, you out there eating raw potatoes or you eating French fries?
Yeah.
Let's be real, baby. It's not the carbs.
Yeah, that's funny.
And when we mentioned that there are 4 calories per gram of protein, same for carbs. There's 4 calories per gram of
4 to
carbohydrate,
1.
and there is 9 calories per gram of fat.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's more than double. But yes,
But
let's
that butter.
definitely get rid of bananas.
What?
Well, that's what, when people are like carbs are the
Oh.
reason for the obesity. Like, yes, get these apples out of here. They're killing us.
I thought you meant like you don't like bananas. I
I
was
like
like, what?
bananas.
I think I've seen you eat them.
I mean, every day.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to make a point of
Right.
it's not carbohydrates. It is processed food that are carb and fat combos that are highly palatable, low volume, and very easy to overeat.
Yeah, and the extreme imbalance of how much fat and carbs or just fat
But,
you're eating every
you
day
look at
versus
calorie
protein.
count, and it's like a banana versus a cookie per 100 calories.
Yeah.
The cookie's a much smaller volume. It's much more tasty.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to eat 4 cookies than it is 4 bananas.
That's true.
It's that joke about like hi, would you like to eat 4 pieces of string cheese? And you're like, no, that's way too much string cheese. What if I breaded and fried it? Like, yes, serve it.
Oh, yeah.
Dipped it in
Let's
marinara.
do that. Oh, now you're talking my language.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Some mozzarella sticks.
Those are good, but no.
Man, fudge. There we go. Okay, let's keep moving
Oh,
on.
but digress one more second. I made some off I think somebody sent me a TikTok or a reel or something in the air fryer.
Oh, yeah.
A baby bell.
Uh-huh.
So it's like small.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah?
That was good.
How'd you do it?
You dipped it in something and put it in some panko.
And then just sprayed it with a light little...
You just put it in the air fryer. And
Oh, because, yeah, the cheese has enough fat on it to make it crispy.
well, baby bells aren't super fatty, so it was pretty cool.
I'm going to try that. That sounds amazing.
Well, I like baby bell. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys eat those by the pound.
Yeah, kids love those, man.
Yeah, I think nutrition, well, what you're eating. So if you're tracking, you're getting into that groove. I think it's important to understand what you're eating also matters. So yeah, you're eating 130 grams of protein, but where is that coming from? Mm-hmm. Protein is very satiating, so it helps reduce the cravings, helps you feel fuller. But if you're only doing it through protein shakes,
you're gonna fart your way all the way home.
True.
It's okay for most people, me included. 1, maybe 2 protein supplements a day are okay when we're talking about like protein bars, protein powders, protein,
because those are highly processed.
Cookies.
Where we're getting.
They're also combo foods. A lot of protein powders have a little bit of carbs and sometimes fat in them. Mm-hmm. The tastier ones do.
Yeah.
But it's not the same, right? A processed food is never going to be as good as a whole natural food.
Right.
But again, 101, hit those numbers and let's find out what works for you. And then it's so much easier to say, you know what, you're eating with your wrap, instead of having chips, let's throw in an apple and peanut butter. Your fiber number is not there yet. And we can start looking at like quantifiable things, not just like, I should eat healthy. I should eat the rainbow. Instead of let's eat half a banana on your oatmeal and throw in some blueberries too, so that we're getting some different things in there. That's easy. That's tolerable. That makes you feel in control and good. Whereas being scared of a whole food group or eating after a certain time or before a certain time.
Oh, forget all that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've done Whole30 twice.
Yeah.
And the only thing I lost was the time that I had to spend cooking every single bite I ate, because you could eat nothing processed.
Oh, yeah.
And 1.2 pounds. That was literally probably from water weight and bloat from not being able to eat any junk food.
Win.
Do what?
That's a win.
I guess. Did you
it.
feel better? I'm like,
I didn't.
Did I?
Yeah, that's how I felt when I did mine.
I didn't feel bad, so it was hard for me to really see a huge difference.
That's the same for me, and that was before I even started getting coached. But what it helped, the most positive thing that it came from was that it got me more confident in the kitchen.
And it did prove to me that
It
healthy
can be
food
really
tastes
good.
really good.
Really
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think people should do Whole30 at least once in their lives.
I don't. It made me poor.
Well, we're not going to talk about that. But I think it can teach you a ton of lessons, about your body.
Well, and I do tell my clients that like to cook a lot.
Yeah.
Look up Whole30 recipes. Mm-hmm. The nutrition's all on there. And they're really, really good and easily modifiable.
Yeah.
You don't have to use 2 tablespoons of clarified butter. You can probably get away with a couple teaspoons.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy free-range organic virgin unicorn chicken breast. Just pick you some up from Kroger and don't worry about it right now.
Yeah.
And start backing into things.
You can do a modified Whole30. And I did that for a long time where it was if the recipe had yucca flour, I'm like, I'm not going to go out and buy a $10 bag of tapioca flour or something.
Yes.
I'm just going to, I have this, let's use it.
What is nutritional yeast? I don't even know. I have a container of it, by the way.
Talked about.
But I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right, we're spiraling. Let's take a quickie break. We'll be right back. do. Okay, we are back. Hello.
Hello.
everybody. Okay, so steps. What can we do?
Steps, actionable steps.
We love this.
You've been hearing a lot about macros. You listen to me talk, and you're like, I'm going to try this because she makes it sound like something I could do.
Yeah.
So the first question is going to be, where do I set them? I'm going to start beginner level, and I'm going to pick out a calorie amount and a protein amount. And this is, again, it's so individual based on your current amount of body fat, lean mass, height, activity level.
You could really get specific with it.
And you should, but if you don't have a coach to do that for you, I think a good way is to have your goal weight. And when I say goal weight, please be reasonable. I don't care what you weighed in high school or the day you got married after you drank coffee and ate chicken for 4 months. Like, let's move on.
Yeah.
Like, pick a goal weight that isn't so far away from you. You can change the numbers. This ain't Moses' tablet. You can adjust things, okay? So let's pick a goal weight that's good. And then go a little bit above that and pick your protein. So if I want to weigh, let's say I want to weigh 150 pounds.
Okay.
I'm going to set my protein about 160 grams. Okay? And that's just, again, that's a guesstimate. And from there, I'm going to calculate how many calories that's going to be. And then I'm going to give myself 1,000 to 1,500 more calories to get from carbs and fat.
Okay.
And your body's going to tell you different ways if this is a good, appropriate, sustainable amount for you. Your digestion, your energy level, your sleep, your pooping, it's all going to tell you a story, and you have to listen to that to really dial it in and feel what's going to get you to your goals, but also give you the energy to execute life in general.
So when somebody's doing the math, let's just blaze over this real fast.
I need to get out my calculator.
Yeah. So if somebody's goal weight is do that. So you do the grams times 4.
So 160 grams.
Do I get an A?
640 calories.
Plus, then you add on.
Let's say like I want to lose weight or die trying. Add 1,000 calories.
That's
1640.
That's
It's low.
Yeah, that's kind of low.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
Let's say you do that and you're like, I think about food all the time. I'm hungry all the time. It's all I care about. I'm super food focused. Let's pop in another 100 calories a day.
Yep, that's okay. You're not going to gain weight. Yeah.
Your weight's going to fluctuate, but it's a good indicator of, am I in a calorie deficit? My favorite way to think about a good, sustainable, like a little slow burn that's going to really carry you all the way to your goal.
Yeah.
Is at night, and I know KateLynn hates this because KateLynn hates to be hungry at night for some reason.
I'm a baby.
You're a baby. But like, if you go to bed at night and you're like, I could really eat a sandwich right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Okay.
You're probably in a decent calorie deficit.
But what if I'm that hungry earlier in the day?
To eat a sandwich.
But
at the end of the day.
It has to be at the end of the day?
When else are you going to measure it?
I don't know. Earlier in the day when I was also hungry.
You should still be eating.
Well, I was, but I'm waiting till dinner time.
Well, I would say try to eat about every 3 hours.
Okay.
That's a good rule of thumb, because if you're eating everybody kind of defaults to that.
Yeah.
But it helps to tell people that are kind of like, don't trust their hunger cues, their ability to read their bodies.
Yeah.
Eat about every 3 hours. That's based on the digestion rate of a good amount of protein and fat, which digests through a lot slower than your carbohydrates. So if you've got a good amount, about every 2 to 3 hours, you should start feeling some hunger cues that are appropriate, that are welcome. That means our metabolisms are running, baby. We're using the food that's happy.
Yeah.
And so observe that and be like, okay, I think this is good. Let's see, we eat dinner at 6, and about 9 o'clock, you're like, yeah, I could totally go mow some stuff down the fridge, but I'm not. That's good.
Yeah. I guess I gotta get over that, huh?
Well, I think if you did it a couple times and didn't die.
I don't know. It might happen.
Well, it's only one way to find out.
I'm just kidding. Well, yeah, because I also like to have a sweet treat after dinner. So that usually is my little chocolate protein shake.
Yeah.
that I like to do. And
if
it's
it
not
fits,
heavy. Yeah.
And it's working for you,
Yeah.
then it's working for you.
Yeah.
But when people don't know
I needed the validation.
what works for them, that's a good rule of thumb. Like, you know, you're not food focused all day. You're not like salivating when you see other people's food and just really having to practice willpower constantly. But at the end of the day, you're like, I'm you know, my stomach's empty. I could definitely eat.
Yeah.
But not like, I'm going to sleep because I can't stand to be in this hungry body anymore. Like, no, that's not going to last very long.
Yeah.
Because what you got to remember too, guys, is hunger will always win.
Yeah.
It is a survival thing. It is not exactly the same, but a lot like trying to hold your breath to kill yourself. Your body will eventually take over your ass and force you to live.
That's a really good thing to remember. Okay, so we've set our calorie goal. We're doing it.
Keep doing it.
Keep
doing it for at least like a week and see what it does to your body. And again, don't just go on the scale, because God forbid you start this and you're also PMSing and you're like, my weight went up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, give it a little bit and notice other things. Your energy levels, again, back to your digestion, the way you're sleeping at night. And weigh every day. And I know that's counterintuitive to what a lot of people say about the scale, but for me, it gives you power over the scale. Mm-hmm. If it's bothering you, the fluctuations, that way you notice it literally fluctuates every single day.
No matter who you are.
Every 5 minutes. If you were to get on the scale, if I drank all this water right now and went and got on the scale, I would be 2 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
Did I get fatter?
No,
I got waterier.
Yeah.
And so that
waterier.
Yeah. I'm just a big old water balloon. But it helps you understand that the weight fluctuates, and you can take that 7-day average, like add up the big number, divide it by 7. That's a better way. If you're super scale focused and you want to see that number come down, that's a much better way to estimate if you are in a calorie deficit.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that part of your goal because you said earlier, like, do this, 1,700 calories consistently and blah, blah, blah. We're doing this basically for longevity. We want to be able to not yo-yo diet and go up and down and on and off the wagon. Like, this is long term. And I think that's a healthy mindset to get into when you start macro tracking, that you might be tracking your stuff for a few years, which don't let that scare you. And I've been doing it for 3 years now.
I do it too. And I just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because we talked, in our last episode podcast, we talked about fault versus responsibility. And, people like to get into, again, the morality of food and the way the U.S. has their system set up. I mean, somebody just sent me this list of toxins that were allowed by the U.S. And that is not my fault. It's not my fault that our food system set up the way it is. It's not my fault that restaurants and fast food places do not accurately report what's in their food and even the overall calories. It's not very accurate. But it doesn't make it not my responsibility. Yeah. And so acknowledging maybe the food system's not that great. Maybe we are kind of set up to fail.
Right.
That, just even knowing that, it is now officially my responsibility to do better, if that makes sense.
Right.
And tracking gives you the control back.
Yep, that's true. And I definitely wanted to make that point of, like, this is for the longevity, and then that, we're here to, like, have the weight off or the physique that we want for a long time, forever, right? So that's just, and that helps kind of take the pressure off of people when they are like, this is how it's going to be for a while, and that's okay. I'm feeding myself in a good way. I'm doing good things to my body, getting enough protein in, getting stronger muscles, stronger bones. Like, we're all doing good things, and that's really what we should just focus on.
And the difference to me with macro tracking between other like methods of changing your body composition are that it does allow you that, like, instead of just being a means to an end, it's like, how long can you go never eating before noon? How long can you do it? And I've been there before where I have like lost some weight, but felt like I was hanging by my fingertips off a cliff.
Oh.
Just waiting to be able to just be like, oh, freaking, I get to go eat at my favorite restaurant finally after all this time of just eating broccoli and chicken. Like that kind of feeling. And it honestly, it's hard to hit your macros eating all stupid like that.
Okay, so what are some other actionable steps beginners and the like can do?
Even if you feel like you're going to be really good at it, we talked about it already, but pre-plan your stuff out. And you don't have to make these beautiful meal preps you see on Instagram. You don't have to spend your entire Sunday, you hear me? You don't have to spend your entire Sunday in the kitchen prepping food. It just doesn't have to be like that. And I think when people start and they're like, okay, Sunday's meal prep day. And you're like, well, this sucks.
I hated it when I would do that. I wouldn't eat anything. I wasted so much food.
And I like to cook.
Same.
And I hate it. Especially when I would put all my meals together before I was supposed to pull them out.
Yeah. No.
But then like the broccoli gets a little funky, but then it also touched the potatoes.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. So you have to
throw
figure
out
out
so much food.
Me too. I don't like old food.
Yeah.
But if you will just do a couple of simple things, I do a lot of times, like we'll put some chicken in the crock pot if I'm going to have shredded chicken on my wraps or something like that. And I'll make, if I'm going to be away from home all day, I'll make that stuff the night before the morning of and take it with me. But again, it goes back to pre-planning. But have a couple proteins ready, and one of those proteins can be deli meat. You can get the Applegate version or whatever healthy, but have you some stuff that you don't have to prep. Have some Greek yogurt. Have some low-carb wraps and ham, turkey, chicken, whatever you like. Get you some protein supplements.
Yeah.
Get a protein bar in there. Even if it's not your ideal, at least you've got it.
Yeah.
I do very little food. I mean, you've been with me. I do very little food prep.
Yeah. I'm the same. And I do love to cook. So I do love to have like a really like
love to cook, but I love to food prep.
Yeah, I don't want to do the food prep. So I do, and I've only just recently started doing this where I'll make a pot of rice on Sunday. And then I'll do if I really love salads, so I like to make a really fun salad, and of course I'm going to put chicken in that. So let's just prep some chicken for the rest of the week.
Yes.
And Mark he's my little garbage disposal. I'm like, if I'm not going to eat it, he will.
I wish I had somebody here like that, but I don't.
I'm so bad at leftovers. That's why I was so bad with eating true meals. I would prep. I would just throw it away. I'm like, I don't want this.
I know. I did that a lot too. And now when I prep, it's just for a few days at a time. And I have different ways I can use it. So my strategy when you're very first starting is 2 proteins, 2 low volume carbs, 2 high volume carbs. So
like potatoes and rice.
Potatoes and rice, low volume carbs. Broccoli and asparagus, high volume carbs. Like hit you up 2 proteins like chicken and shrimp, chicken and deli meat, whatever you want.
And whatever you like.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
And then get a couple carbs. It doesn't have to be sweet potatoes and brown rice. It can be white potatoes and white rice. Like, don't get into like good and bad. Like, what do I like? What could I throw together? And that way you can really like interchange it.
Yeah.
You can make it into like a stir fry with some soy sauce.
Or like a burrito bowl. I love
a burrito
those.
bowl.
Yeah.
You can wrap everything up in a Caesar salad wrap.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different things you can do. And that's why I also like to have a good bit of like sauces on whatever mood I'm in. I always pick up salsa.
That is fun. That changes a dish instantly.
It does. Like salsa from your favorite Mexican restaurant.
You guys do have a lot of condiments.
I love condiments. I love sauces.
So American.
I am USA. But like a lot of Asian sauces, like you can use a Bragg's aminos. You can use low sodium soy sauce, regular soy sauce. Doesn't matter. Whatever you like, whatever flavor profile, like think like, what am I craving? Is it Italian? I should get some marinara sauce for my, just to go. Maybe some pesto.
Yeah.
Just switch it up like that, and don't eat something gross.
Yeah.
Because that's going to put you off so fast. Oh, and I use Mega Fit meals.
Oh yeah.
I don't now. You probably know. I don't get a lot of their like already like. I like simple. I like single macro meals. Like, what's my protein? What's my carb? What's my veg?
Yeah.
And I'll doctor it up.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You do doctor it up for me.
Don't you like that?
Yeah.
I like that. I want just a microwave meal.
Yeah. I've thought about doing stuff like that, but it's just like, I could so do this at home for way cheaper.
But it comes frozen, which means everything to me. Because, again, getting grossed out by fresh food sitting in the refrigerator forever.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I'm bad at leftovers. I'm just so bad at it.
Because to me, when it's fresh, and it's been in the refrigerator for one day, that's leftovers.
Yeah. Same. That's why I was so bad at meal prep.
No, I will eat something for a little bit, but not very long. Not a whole week.
I'm even bad with leftovers from the restaurant, unless it's pizza.
We'll mow those down.
No, I'll be like, yes, I want to eat this, and then I'll just be like, Mark,
The next
you eat
day,
it. You eat it.
It doesn't reheat well.
The hibachi stuff I'll eat, reheat.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, where are we going?
Macros?
What's that? So I feel like that's a really good place for people to start is to get your number set, do it test it out, see if that's good for you, and then pre-plan your meals. Prioritize protein. Is that where you keep people for a while, or?
It just, depends on in there, how quickly they get it, like how quickly they're able to flow into hitting those numbers.
Yeah.
There's no reason to tighten things up or change things when someone's hasn't gotten to first base, right? We're not talking about second base yet, which is when you start dialing.
I was going to say, what's second base?
Quality.
Oh, like
First base is quantity. Hitting those numbers over from whatever. I don't care if you eat only chicken breast and Pop-Tarts. Right? We got to get to first base.
First base. Okay.
Second base, we start talking about like, this is your fiber number. And this is where I think it should be based on the amount of calories you're eating.
Okay.
And then that will help you back into fruit, vegetables, maybe some like more micronutrient dense foods, which are usually contain good amount of fiber.
Yeah.
And then we work that. And then third base is, do we need to also figure out carbs and fat for you and how to best fuel your body to continue pushing results.
Okay. What's third base?
That's third base. Like when you go into like full macro tracking.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
And home run is when you just do it every day and you don't gripe about it and you don't cry about it and you like it.
The end.
The end. You have arrived. And you really probably, a home run is when you actually start doing intuitive eating, but that's a different conversation.
Oh, where you don't have to track and...
I don't really enjoy it.
The intuitive eating? Mm-hmm. Why?
It's not as fun to me. Huh. I want to know what I'm eating.
I think Nicole was doing, like, that's what she's doing now. Because, I mean, she's tracked and she's competed.
Yeah.
And she's done so many shows. And I think that, especially with somebody who's been in that world for so long. And, Casey's a good example, too. Like, she just knows, her brain knows, her intuition knows.
I know
what
too, and it's like almost like to be proved right. Like the other day when I pulled out the
ground beef,
and I was like, 6 ounces.
Yeah,
I'm so good. It's a habit. It's like anything else. It's like maybe not. I don't know if it's a good habit or bad habit, but it is a habit. And I worked a long time to get to a place where it didn't bother me anymore.
Yeah,
and I don't see the value for me right now in backing out of that.
Yeah, same.
It may change, and I hope I'm open to it and don't fight it. But right now, it really works for me, and I'm happy, and I'm healthy, and I'm stay put.
Okay, me too. Well, I feel like that is pretty good with beginners, don't you think? Is there anything else you feel like we're missing?
No, I think when you start adding in all the little different, like, left turns and right turns you could potentially take with macro tracking, it's a turnoff.
Oh yeah, just stay in your lane, yeah. The bases is such a good example. Mm-hmm. Hit first base, don't worry about all the other noise or what this competitor
and
is
if you
doing.
If you have a coach, they'll wave you to the next base when you're ready.
A good one.
Yeah, a good one. Yes,
have to say that. Like you.
Someone from the Fit Fin Project, maybe?
LOL. Well, if there are any other questions that somebody happens to have, DM us anytime we do our coaching live question calls episodes, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just message us anytime in Facebook as well, or email us. But thanks for listeing. Thanks for being here and listening. Your support means everything. Don't forget to rate and review. Even though that's about to be said. Just
Hey, you guys.
Hey, that just is so helpful in supporting my dream.
Yes. Please support KateLynn's dream.
Yeah, guys, come on. Anyway, until then, bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.